Some moments feel too unreal to be true until a camera captures them. Real souls, unexplained incidents, and moments that feel bigger than science. All caught on tape. These aren't just stories. They're real clips of things most people would never believe unless they saw it for themselves.
Angels, I know you're here.
Tell that in the photo there is a human figure.
Jennifer Hodge from Atlanta was sitting on the couch with her daughter when her phone buzzed. It was a security alert from her home camera. Thinking it was a break-in, she opened the app and saw something that made her stop cold. A faint, glowing figure stood in the hallway, and it looked exactly like her late son. She rushed to check the house. No one was there. She believes it wasn't just a shadow or a trick of the light. It was him, saying goodbye one last time.
Definitely a human figure. I mean, there wasn't anything questionable as to, okay, maybe that's a curtain.
Final visitor. In 2017, a man was resting in his hospital bed when something unexpected happened. A dark, shadowy blur moved across the room, fast and quiet. The security camera picked it up, but nobody inside the room noticed. It wasn't smoke. It wasn't a person. Nurses rushed in, but the shadow was already gone. Some people say it was his spirit leaving his body. Others think it was something else entirely, something we weren't supposed to catch on film. But the footage? Still out there, still unexplained. Invisible help. One night, a woman stepped off the curb, totally unaware that a speeding car was coming straight at her. The driver slammed the brakes, but it looked like it was too late. Then suddenly, she wasn't there anymore. She was already across the road, totally unharmed. The whole thing was caught on CCTV, and right before she vanished from danger, a shadowy figure showed up near her. Just for a split second. Nobody saw it in person. Only the camera did. Some think it was a guardian, stepping in when no one else could. Heaven's beam.
I don't know how much that photo is really meant to me.
After a tragic moment, someone snapped a photo that didn't feel like just another picture. A powerful beam of light cut through the sky, landing directly on the scene. But what really shook people was what they saw inside the light. A soft, human-like shape, rising upward like it was being lifted. People started calling it the stairway to heaven. It wasn't edited. It wasn't staged. It was just there. A quiet, beautiful moment that felt way bigger than anything on Earth. Some swear it captured a soul's last step, caught on camera as it returned home.
The side of the car was completely, smashed in.
Ghost trial. In Japan, a group of researchers set up a strange experiment using advanced equipment and a deeply relaxed human subject. For nearly an hour, nothing happened. Then, something odd flickered on their cameras. A faint mist appeared near the woman's face, visible only through the lens. As the mist moved, it began to shift into the shape of a figure. It floated, circled her body, then faded into thin air. Nobody in the room saw it in real time, and after this single event, the team canceled the project without any explanation. Whatever they caught on camera, it hasn't happened since. Shadow walk. A roadside camera caught a moment that's hard to explain. A dog stood perfectly still by the road, just staring ahead. Then, from a distance, a pale figure appeared. It moved like a person, but not quite. Two animals, a dog and a cat, followed closely behind it, like they knew it. Then, just like that, the figure vanished, gone. The cat stopped. The second dog looked around, clearly confused, but that first dog, still calm, still staring, like it knew all along what was really walking down that road. Virgin Hill. In Ta Pao, Vietnam, a peaceful hill turned into a place of mystery nearly 15 years ago. Locals had whispered about seeing the Virgin Mary, but no one really believed it until someone recorded it. In the video, people are gathered in prayer. Then it happens. A glowing figure appears. Not a trick of the light, not a statue. It moves. Just a little, like a breath, but that small shift was enough. The crowd froze, some in shock, others in tears. It wasn't just a rumor anymore. That moment turned Ta Pao into a place people still talk about today. Rising mist.
Of a two-car head-on collision. Information as to the extent of injuries or details further.
A crash shook the street, loud and sudden. While first responders rushed in, a bystander filmed the event and caught something strange. A soft mist floated upward from the wreck. At first, people thought it was just smoke, but after news spread that the driver didn't survive, the mist didn't feel like smoke anymore. Some who watched the video later said it looked like more than vapor, like something was quietly leaving. It was the driver's soul. Holy mist.
¡Ay, mire! ¡Mire como una ala!
At a calm riverside in Honduras, a quiet baptism turned into something people still talk about. As two people rose from the water, surrounded by friends and family, a glowing mist appeared above them. But it wasn't random fog. It started to form a figure. You could almost see arms, as if it was hugging them. Some folks thought it was a trick of the light, but everyone there felt something deeper, like the air shifted. They say it was a spiritual sign, a blessing caught on camera. Real or not, that moment left everyone staring in silence. Cat warning. At first, it looked like a regular clip, a cat chilling in the living room. But then, these tiny glowing dots floated in, slow and weirdly calm. Could have been dust, but they moved too smoothly, too steady. The cat didn't pounce, didn't play, it froze, eyes wide. Then it backed away, tail low, like it was spooked. The lights didn't leave right away. They hovered there, almost like they were watching back. It felt personal, a little too personal. Some folks say cats sense stuff before we do. And after this, it's kinda hard not to agree. Vanishing Man.
I gotta assume that
Just before sunrise, a camera on a quiet street picked up a guy walking past. Everything looked normal until it didn't. As he reached the edge of the frame, his legs started fading, then his arms. His whole body just melted into the air. No sound, no pause, just gone. The homeowners thought it was a glitch, but no one else in the area saw him. No other camera picked him up. It was like he was never there, but the footage says otherwise. Whatever that was, it didn't walk off screen. It vanished.
I got it.
Angel Light.
Praying for a miracle, and I think this is the beginning of it.
Chelsea was slipping away, just 14 years old, lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by machines and silent prayers. Her family braced themselves for the worst until something strange appeared. A bright, glowing shape floated outside her hospital room, caught on the monitor. One of the nurses whispered, "That looks like an angel." And then, just like that, Chelsea's vitals improved. Her oxygen levels bounced back. She was breathing again. Her mom didn't need proof. She knew what she saw. That light wasn't just a light. It felt like a guardian stepping in, right when they needed a miracle most.
It's a blessing. It's a miracle.
Water Spirit. In Davao del Norte, during a rescue mission on 21st of November 2020, something strange appeared on camera. A man named Don Don had jumped in to save a stray dog. He pushed the animal to safety, but didn't make it out himself. As crews searched the water, a ghostly figure was caught walking just above the surface. Those who saw it believe it was Don Don's spirit, still close by, not ready to leave just yet. Blue Origin.
and then actually I see it move. That's really, I got freaked out.
Late one night in Parma, Ohio, a gas station worker checked the surveillance footage and saw something weird. A glowing blue shape floated into view, slow and steady. It hovered over a car, almost like it was scanning or watching. Then it disappeared. No sound, no reason, just gone. People tried to explain it. A drone? A balloon? But none of it made sense. The way it moved didn't feel normal. It wasn't fast. It wasn't clumsy. It was calm. The video started spreading, and soon everyone had a theory, but no one had an answer.
No one knows for sure. Everyone seems to have an idea.
Angels. There's an angel here.
Graveyard guest.
And as you can see behind me here, we have a few gravestones.
In Saratoga, a reporter was filming live from Green Ridge Cemetery just before sunrise. Everything seemed normal until viewers spotted something behind her. The camera caught it too. A ghostly, see-through figure gliding across the graves. The reporter had no clue and just kept talking like nothing happened. People watching lost their minds. Some swear it was a spirit, others say it was just weird lighting. Either way, it freaked everyone out. And if you needed one more reason to avoid cemeteries at night, here it is. Orb encounter.
Someone go into my chest. Right into me.
Some spirits don't just haunt old houses, they follow you home. After visiting the historic Wilson Castle, a woman couldn't shake a strange feeling. Lights flickered. She felt watched, so she set up a camera while she and her friend slept. What it caught was chilling. A tiny orb of light floated into the room, slipped into her friend's chest, then floated right back out and disappeared. It wasn't dust. It wasn't a trick. Now, both believe something followed them from the castle. Maybe a lost Victorian soul, still hoping for a second chance at life through someone else.
And then like a minute later, it comes bouncing out of me.
Street spirit. A homeless man slept on a street corner, tucked under a thin blanket. A nearby camera, pointed toward the sidewalk, caught something most people would miss. A faint, ghostly shape rose from his body, matching him exactly, like a second version of himself. The figure drifted upward, then disappeared. No noise. No flash, just a quiet exit. People who saw the footage said it looked like a spirit leaving. It didn't look staged. It looked like something real and a little too close for comfort. Orb encounter. A quiet night turned surreal for one woman who just stepped outside and looked up. Right above her, several glowing orbs, floating like they were watching. They didn't flicker or dart around like bugs. They just hovered, silent and strange. She froze for a second, then started texting, probably trying to tell someone what she was seeing. It wasn't a reflection. It wasn't a glitch. It looked real. Some say it could have been drones. Others think it was something else. Maybe something not from here. Whatever it was, it definitely got her attention, and now it's got everyone else's too. Truck visitor.
Something just hit my truck. Something just hit my truck.
Troy Vance wasn't out looking for trouble, just trying to start his truck. But that night, trouble found him. A weird thud hit his vehicle, and suddenly, the air felt heavy and cold. Stepping out to check, Troy spotted a dark figure sitting calmly in front of the truck, staring right at him. He snapped a photo, heart racing. Later, he realized the face looked eerily like a classmate who hadn't been seen in weeks. That one picture changed everything. Paranormal curiosity? Yeah, Troy got more than he ever signed up for in that empty parking lot.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Battlefield shadows. If you're anywhere near Gettysburg after dark, stay sharp. This place doesn't sleep. A man driving through the area with his family caught something spine-chilling on camera. Two see-through figures sprinting across the road like they were still in battle. Gettysburg isn't just a historic site, it's a ghost magnet. The field saw 3 days of brutal fighting during the Civil War, with thousands falling, some in unspeakable ways. Locals say the spirits never left, And after watching this clip, it really does seem to be true. Church light.
No, there's something that
During a worship gathering in California back in 2019, something strange was spotted above the crowd. At first, nobody noticed, but when people asked security to check the footage, they saw it clear as day. A glowing figure floating just above the worshipers. It didn't flicker like a spotlight or drift like dust. It moved with purpose. Slowly, calmly. Some believed it was a sign. Others saw it as a lucky glitch. But no matter what it was, everyone who watched the video felt the same thing. Chills.
Wow.
Final light.
Angels, I know you're here.
In a quiet hospice room just before the end, something peaceful appeared. A soft, glowing orb floated above the patient's bed. It didn't flicker or move fast. It just hovered calmly, like it belonged there. The people in the room said it felt like a quiet goodbye, gentle and kind. Some believe these orbs are more than just energy. They're guardians, watching over those taking their last breath. It didn't feel scary. It felt like someone came to guide them home.
I know she's going to heaven.
Forest Watcher. A mother and her son were packing up their car, getting ready for a short trip. Everything was normal until a figure stepped out from the trees. It stood there, almost hidden in the shadows, watching quietly. When the son turned to look, the figure ducked out of sight. They replayed the footage thinking it was a neighbor, but the figure looked ghostly and had a face they recognized. It resembled a man who lived nearby and had passed not long before. Now, they believe he came back just for a moment to watch them leave safely. Dark release. A woman was just sweeping the floor, a little girl nearby, when her body froze. She grabbed her chest and collapsed. What happened next freaked everyone out. The security footage shows a smoky, dark figure slowly rising from her, like something separating from her body. Her husband rushed over, but she was already gone. The shape drifted away and faded. It didn't look like dust or smoke. It looked like something was leaving, and it left people wondering if they just witnessed a soul slipping out right on camera. Energy orbs.
Tells us about the evidence of the intruders at this local gym and why law enforcement appears powerless to stop it.
Not all hauntings come with creaks and whispers. At a small gym, security footage showed glowing orbs zipping through the air like they had somewhere to be. At first, the owner blamed the dust, but after experts ruled that out, the footage felt way creepier. These orbs moved with purpose, dancing, pausing, swirling like they were aware. Some say they're spirits, drawn to the energy of the place. Maybe it was a favorite spot in life. Maybe they just aren't ready to leave. Either way, they've made the gym famous, not just for workouts, but for something far stranger.
I got notified that all I saw was these sort of dancing orbs.
Cemetery mystery. A graveyard worker thought his shift would be the usual, quiet, boring, done by midnight. But not this time. His security camera picked up a strange floating orb above one of the oldest graves. It glowed softly, hovered for a moment, then faded into the dark. He says it didn't feel evil, just unfinished. Some say it was a trapped spirit, still tied to that place. Others say it was an angel. Either way, it felt like proof that some souls just don't move on right away. Lingering spirit. At a hospital in China, security footage recorded something straight out of a horror movie. Right after a patient passed away, the camera panned toward the bed, and there it was. A smoky shape lifted off the body, floated above for a few seconds, then vanished into thin air. Staff tried to play it cool, blaming the tech, but the more they re-watched the clip, the more it creeped them out. It didn't glitch or skip. It moved with purpose, whatever that was. It didn't look like a camera malfunction. Love's return. One man believes he saw his late wife one final time. He was staring out the window when a glowing figure appeared, softly reaching toward him. He felt it right away, something familiar, something loving. He reached back, hoping to hold her one more time, but just before their hands met, a bright flash of light surrounded her, and she faded away. It happened fast, but the feeling stayed. Was it really her, visiting for a moment, or just a dream shaped by love and grief? Either way, it gave him a memory that felt too real to forget. Drone haunting.
There's another one there. Look at what is that?
Flying a drone at night over a graveyard? Sounds like a bad horror movie, but one guy actually did it. He wanted cool footage, but what he got was way more than that. As the drone hovered above, something strange showed up near a grave, a figure just sitting there. At first, it looked human, but when he zoomed in, it was see-through and staring straight at the drone. In seconds, it stood up and vanished into the shadows. That drone operator didn't stick around long after that. Can't blame him.
How is it? That is insane. Look, it's just disappeared.
Vanishing mist. In 2019, Sri Lanka's beaches turned into chaos. A fisherman had gone missing, and the news was everywhere. Crews, sirens, full search mode. But while the cameras rolled, one lens caught something strange. A thick, dark mist drifted slowly across the frame. It wasn't light or fast like fog. It looked heavy, like it had weight. No one on the beach noticed, but moments later, the fisherman was confirmed gone. Viewers who saw the clip believe that mist wasn't part of the weather. It was something else, maybe even his last presence, caught without anyone realizing it. Fog watcher. It was a quiet night, and a woman was just checking her security cam. Her husband was outside taking out the trash. Nothing weird, until she noticed a figure behind him. Not a person. Not quite. It looked like fog, but shaped like someone standing there. Then it moved, slow and steady, almost like it had a purpose. She rewatched the footage over and over, and each time it felt creepier. That night, they couldn't shake it. It didn't just feel like a weird cloud. It felt like something was watching both of them. Spirit flash. A traffic cam was doing its usual thing, recording cars on a quiet street, when a speeding car swerved hard into the wrong lane. At that exact moment, a bright flash burst into view, then zipped away in an instant. Most people thought it was a camera glitch, until they noticed where it came from. Right near that flash, a homeless man had been lying on the ground. No one noticed anything unusual in person, but that flash felt real, like something invisible took flight just as the danger rolled in. Loyal spirit. Late one night, a man heard a low growling outside his trailer. Thinking it was just an animal, he checked the security footage, but what he saw wasn't normal. A smoky shape hovered near the edge of the frame, then slowly faded into the dark. He swears it looked like his old dog, the one he grew up with. The shape, the size, the way it was there, all of it felt familiar. Some say pets never really leave. Maybe they stick around, guarding the people they love the most, even after they're gone. Floating visitor. Late at night, a motion sensor flicked on. A glowing orb hovered into frame, quiet and smooth, like it knew exactly where it was going. It floated across the yard, passed right through a glass window, and vanished inside the house without making a sound. At first, it looked like just a glitch, but the more you watch it, the less normal it feels. It didn't bounce, didn't flicker, just moved with purpose. People say these orbs aren't just random lights, they're signs. And this one, it felt like it was on a mission. Soft goodbye. She just wanted a sweet memory of her dad. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet video to hold close. He'd been resting, barely speaking, just fading softly. But when she watched the clip later, something subtle caught her eye. A faint, round glow floated near him. It was so gentle, She almost missed it. A friend pointed it out, and suddenly it felt different. Her dad passed not long after, but that little light stuck with her. She doesn't think it was random anymore. She sees it as a sign. Maybe someone or something was there to help guide him through. Ghost window. Louise Lenton was just filming her son's big moment, his first time riding a bike. But when she watched the video back, something weird showed up. In the background, an old figure stood watching from a window of a building no one had used in years. That part of the place had been shut off forever, and no neighbors looked like the person in the video. So she dug into the history. Turns out, the house once belonged to a Victorian family in the 1800s. Now Louise thinks that figure wasn't just a shadow, maybe someone from the past still waiting. Floating self. Have you ever woken up from a dream feeling like you were somewhere else? Like outside your own body? Well, one guy's security cam caught something that might prove it. As he slept, the camera picked up a soft, shadowy shape floating above him, then sliding right back into him the second he woke up. It wasn't loud or dramatic, just smooth, like it belonged. Some folks think it's nothing. Others swear it shows our souls do more than rest. Maybe sleep is more than just dreams. Maybe it's a quiet trip we don't remember taking. Mosque light. During a quiet prayer inside a mosque, something happened that no one expected. Among the people dressed in dark, simple clothes, one person seemed to glow. It wasn't bright or flashy, just a soft light that followed them closely, like it knew who it was drawn to. The glow moved when they moved, smooth and real, not some glitch or shadow trick. People noticed. They watched in silence, feeling something shift in the room. No one could explain it, but it felt peaceful, almost sacred, like maybe something divine had joined them, quietly, without saying a word. Street follower. A man was walking alone down a silent street when a security cam picked up something odd. At first glance, it looked normal, just a guy taking a late stroll. But behind him, something floated, a pale, blurry shape, close enough to touch him. He didn't notice. He kept walking, totally unaware of the strange presence on his heels. When people saw the footage, they couldn't shake the feeling that it wasn't just a glitch. The figure moved with purpose, almost like it was following him for a reason. No one knows why or what it wanted. Saved by light. A truck ran a red light, speeding toward a small three-wheeler with no chance of escape. But then, everything changed. A bright flash lit up the intersection, and in the next frame, the three-wheeler was suddenly on another road, completely untouched. People watching the footage couldn't explain it. What made it weirder? A strange figure was seen nearby, calm and still, then gone just as fast. For some, it felt like a miracle. Others called it a glitch in time. But those who were there believe someone stepped in just long enough to pull the driver out of danger. Shadow Watcher. A quiet hospital hallway, an empty room, and a camera rolling. Nothing unusual, right? But when the footage played back, a tall, shadowy figure stood right beside the bed. It didn't move. It didn't flinch. It just stood there, blending into the darkness like it belonged. Whoever reviewed the footage felt an instant chill. The room had been locked. No one should have been inside. Still, that figure stayed in place, almost like it was keeping watch or waiting for someone. The camera only caught a few minutes, but the feeling it left behind, that stuck around much longer. Silent farewell. One quiet night, a glowing streak shot across the sky over a small neighborhood. Fast, silent, and gone in seconds. At first, people thought it was just a meteor, but later, neighbors found out an elderly woman had passed away that same night. Suddenly, the strange light didn't seem so random. Some say it was a spirit, a final goodbye from someone quietly leaving this world. Others believe it was something higher, maybe an angel guiding her. Either way, it was one of those moments that made people stop and look up, wondering what really travels through the night. Ghost hunt. Dogs always know when something's off. So when a farmer's pack started barking like crazy one night, he knew something was out there. Past the fence line, hiding in the dark, was a cloaked figure, almost blending into the night. The dogs wouldn't stop. They lunged, circled, barked louder, like they were chasing something only they could fully see. The farmer grabbed his phone, hit record, and caught it. The figure trying to slip away, but never quite getting far. No footsteps, no voice, just a shape that didn't belong. Watching it later, the farmer couldn't explain it. No one could. Subscriber pick. During a simple walk, two friends spotted a guy sitting on the roadside. Nothing weird, until they saw a smoky figure slowly rising from him. It moved like it had a purpose, floating up without a sound before fading into the sky. There was no fire, no steam, no reason for smoke at all. The man never looked up, just sat there while this thing drifted away. The friends were frozen, totally speechless. Later, they couldn't even explain it, but one thing was clear. What they saw didn't follow any rules of this world. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.